He has served the Buddhist community and doing missionary work. He served the country for more than 53 years. And for a person to do something consistently and persistently for such a long period of time, I think it's nothing less than remarkable.
Definitely, I think you look at the history of Buddhism in Malaysia, it's very much, it can be connected to chief one way or the other.
Chief is actually like a leader to all the Buddhist community within this country, irrespective of whatever traditions.
For Malaysians, Malaysian Buddhism especially, there's only one icon, and that's Chief Venerable.
For more than half a century, K Sri Dhammananda has been a leading light in disseminating Buddhism in Malaysia. Although there are different schools of Buddhism practiced in this country, such is his deep impact on the community that he is affectionately known by all as the Chief.
I am the eldest son in my family. I have 2 more brothers, 3 sisters. And my father was not very happy because he said, he's the eldest son, you must stay back. But the mother was influenced by the chief monk of the temple that he wanted to ordain this boy. Then the father said, we have 2 more sons, why not we ask one of them to become the monk? The chief monk said, no, I want only that boy. So father had no choice. I was ordained at the age of 12.
Being ordained as a novice monk at such a young age is not easy. There were moments when he wanted to quit the religious life.
When I was about 18 years old, I saw all the other young boys enjoying their life, running here and there. So I also got fed up with this way of life. Then I went to see my mother and told me I don't like to stay in the temple, I want to come back. Then the mother said, you must understand, we have 2 more sons and 3 daughters to attend to us, look after us. But if you remain in the robe as a monk, you can serve the whole country, the whole world. If you come home, you can support only your family. Not only that. When we are going to die, by thinking the other children, we won't gain happiness. But when I think of you, I gain happiness. Because you are leading a religious way of life, you are doing some religious service to others. So we gain happiness. Then I decided to stay back.
Shortly after arriving in Malaya in the early 50s, he received a letter from Sir Gerald Templar, the British High Commissioner. Templar, who had created new villages in order to curb the spread of communism, wanted to find out if there was a link between communism and Buddhism.
He was a very clever man. He was the one who introduced new village system. People who were scattered here and there and asked them to come and stay in one area, then they cannot contribute toward the insurgent. He heard these communist insurgents are Chinese. Chinese are Buddhists. But he wanted to know whether there is any relationship with Buddhism and communism. So I received a letter asking me to go there to discuss this matter. Then I said, communism introduced violence. Buddhism introduced peace, harmony, understanding. Therefore, Buddhists do not contribute anything for communists to create violence. Then he said, in that case, why not to go to those new villages and preach and tell people? He said, yes. When we announced that we are going to preach, nobody wanted to attend. Then what we did, we announced, we came here to bless you. Then so many people assembled. After blessing, then we had the chance to speak few words about religion. Then spread in every new village that he had at that time.
Prior to his arrival in Malaya, Buddhism was taught largely in Chinese. It was the chief who began teaching Buddhism in English.
Well, I think the Chinese Malaysians of Chinese descent, they have been Buddhist in the traditional sense of the word. So there have been some access to teachings from Taiwan and China and so on. But the English-educated Malaysians who could not read Mandarin or could not understand Chinese, they were cut off from that source of information. So for a long time before Chief Reverend came, we did not have any access to Buddhist teachings. And many of us actually strayed to other religions. But when Chief came here and he started teaching largely in English, and then when we found these teachings, then I think because of that, the English-educated Malaysians who speak English then found this readily available information on Buddhism, and I think that's why it's a historical phenomenon that a lot of the Theravada Buddhists happen to be English-speaking. It just happened that way.
When I came here, at that time they had only 7 children in Sunday school. Then we started English classes to talk teachings and Buddhism and Sunday school.
Right mindfulness, right concentration. If you follow this path, what he taught, then you can gain enlightenment too. All of us can.
Now we have 1,200 Sunday school children.
The chief has also tried to speak Malay, but often with funny results.
I was studying Malay language at that time, only few words. A lady came to worship. She was standing. Now I wanted to tell her to sit down for blessing. Then I asked her, "Tido." Then she ran away. I came and asked these people, what happened? When I asked her to Tido, she ran away. They didn't know Tido, Dudo.
The chief has always presented Buddhism in its essence, emphasizing rationality over rituals.
But when the Chinese came to Malaysia, they actually brought with them a very degenerate form of Buddhism. It was all mixed up with Taoism, Confucianism, and basically some basic Chinese beliefs. So that was a form of Buddhism which our forefathers taught us and came down to us.
No doubt that they uphold or they maintain Buddhism, their knowledge, their understanding about the teachings of the Buddha is very poor. They follow only tradition, custom and rite and rituals and ceremonies. That's all. Only Theravada Buddhists who have come from Sri Lanka started to introduce the real teachings of the Buddha, not only tradition, customs and all this attitude. Now educated people, Chinese and others, also slowly turning toward this Buddhist way of life by knowing the teachings of the Buddha.